How is everyone?
Is it? What day is it today?
Surviving.
Don't know, dear. A day. A
I
day.
don't know.
Monday. Monday. Is it?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, matron.
Is it really? We're all getting really sort of. That is true. We just don't know what day it is, do we, at the moment?
No, dear. No.
And having said that,
who are you? Who are you?
Exactly. Who am I? I don't even know myself.
No.
Do you know what? And I have to tell you, I was going out yesterday for my little daily walk. And I was looking, I put the dog's lead on, I put everything on, I put my coat on, could not find my keys. I searched and searched and searched for half an hour. And guess where they were?
In your hand?
No, not quite. I have done that before, but in the front door overnight.
How dangerous. I've done that.
Guilty. You could have been stolen.
I know.
Somebody could have come and stolen you.
Are we getting older? Are we getting older, girls? Is this a kind of getting older?
Well, I had a terrible thing the other day because you know how your phone is so precious. And my phone, my whole life is on my phone. I mean, you know, like it is, grandchildren, everybody, and I lost it. And I burst into tears and I was in such a, I mean, literally, it was pathetic. Like a wobbly state, just a terrible thing. And I was talking to Amanda Barry at the time, and she said, Sherry, you're talking to me. What are you talking to me on? I went, oh, it's my phone. I've got my phone in my hand. She went, oh, for God's sake, you're pathetic. Bring me back when you've woken up. Oh, God. I mean, seriously, there's something wrong with me. There is something wrong with me. I've got to stop it, or have a doctor look at me at my head.
I think we're also, you know what we're all suffering from? This sort of lockdown malaise. Apart from this terrible virus going around, there is something else going on which affects your memory, affects your mind, affects absolutely everything that you do, doesn't it? And also this fear of people now, which even when I walk my dog, I find myself going, oh, there's a person coming. Well,
absolutely.
Well, no, you see, I do the opposite, Debbie. I go towards them and they all run away. And I go, hello. They go, no, don't come near me, don't come near me. I think,
because we forget.
Farting.
I know, Sherry, they've always done that.
To go up and
noticing now.
I have to say, I found myself with 3 pairs of glasses on and still looking for my glasses on my head, down my front, on my face, and I'm looking for my glasses. What the hell?
Tell you what happened to me with my glasses the other night. I was in bed.
Matron, we all need help.
I got my phone, and I always play Eggheads on my phone. I don't know, anyway. And I was in bed, and then my phone must have dropped, and I got this terrible pain come in my head. And it woke me up, and I thought, oh, my God, what is the matter with my head? Oh, my God, there's something really wrong. And I got 2 glasses, which were stuck on my head, one after the other. And I'd slept on them and they pressed right into my eye. So this had gone back in there. When I woke up, I've got this creepy glass.
God, we
just talk about completely different. I have noticed, Sherry, that your roots look really good. Now, sorry to be so specific.
Yes, I keep doing them, that's why.
What are you doing them with?
How often do you do them?
Domestos.
I thought so. It's worked wonders.
Boot polish.
There you go.
Anything that changes the colour. No, I get that spray that you, Debbie, you told me about. And then also, I went and bought a box.
Yes.
And I did them all over. So, but they're ready again. They're ready again. There's white there already.
Yeah, mine at work is just ridiculous.
Yeah, me too.
I've got that spray on.
I can't. Oh, you've got your spray. What colour do you use, Debbie?
Dark blonde.
Oh,
yes.
The lighter blonde is too yellow. It's
yes,
like a yellow spray. The darker blonde is, well, it's this colour. Can you see it?
So have you ever used the really dark one?
Yes.
The step up.
Yeah.
So you go to sort of like a chestnut.
It's quite nice, actually.
I quite like it. I quite like it. The only thing is, I accidentally sprayed it there. So I got, and then I got this brown head here.
But you can give yourself low lights, you see.
No, I sprayed it all over.
Oh,
horrified. Oh, what have you done?
I know. girls, I know you're all blondes, and I'm happy for you. Obviously, you have more fun.
Yes.
But as a brunette, I wish in my youth. What do I do? Because I can't put on.
You use the spray, the same. You know,
What
the L'Oreal
spray,
spray.
darling? Do I do a blonde spray?
Is there a
No, you
spray?
do.
No, there's a
The dark one.
chestnut brown spray, which
Yes,
might help the colour of your hair, Harriet. It might make it look a bit better.
That funny, possibly
I'm
less.
just saying.
How is that
Possibly
possible?
less funny. Matron.
Hey, listen, can I just say,
And this is
one
Monday.
day,
This
listen,
is Monday.
one day, can we do this? Can we all have different coloured hair that we normally have?
Yes.
Like Dee could be red, Debbie could be chestnut, Harriet could be blonde.
I'll be blue.
Oh,
And what are you going to be, Sherry?
I'll be, what did I just say? I'll be, I don't know. I'll be chestnut then, or
Chestnut.
red, there. Should we do that one day?
Well, you can do it with the L'Oreal sprays. You can do that. You can spray it. But Harriet, you should be able to use the L'Oreal spray on your hair easily.
Yeah, I do. But what I love about you guys is that you've got dark roots on blonde hair.
Yes.
But I've got, if I do light roots on my dark hair, it'll look bizarre. So do I just do dark roots?
Just do the dark spray.
Yeah. Okay.
The only reason we darken our roots, I mean, we can use the light root spray, but it doesn't look very, it just looks really yellow. Yeah. And it doesn't really work that well. But the dark blonde, and in fact, if you go to Boots and all of those places, you can get it. But the big thing is, I think that it's almost always sold out, that particular colour, because it's the best. The other thing that's so nice about it is that it gives your hair so much body. I've got my hair up today, which is, as you've probably seen, quite rare for me to wear it.
Yeah, I think that. But the trouble is with me, you see, I am that much white.
Me too.
So when I become translucent and you can't see me at all.
There's a promise, darling. Do you promise? I can't see you at all.
I'd like to be honey blonde.
You're called honey. Yeah.
Honey blonde.
Honey.
She's smiling at
the
camera again.
I know.
Actually, Debbie, Dee could be honey because those sprays would turn her honey, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I'd like that. I could match then, couldn't I?
Yeah, but don't forget your collars and cuffs.
How could I possibly, darling?
Is that a euphemism for the spray?
We know, darling, what she means. We do.
Just checking.
We've spoken about this before, I think.
There's no need. There's no need to spray. Please, can we bring a guest in now? Please.
Yes, I certainly can. Well, frivolity prevailed. I think this is going to be lovely because I'm sure that our new guest today, our special guest, she is a presenter, television and radio presenter, a writer, an entrepreneur, and an influencer.
Ooh.
And it's the wonderful, wonderful Anthea Turner.
There she is.
Here she is.
Hello.
What a good landing, darling. Welcome to the nest.
Thank you, darling.
Welcome.
Oh, you look lovely, darling. You're lovely in pink, and I love the background, the backdrop. Is that your apartment, darling?
Or is it real, darling? Is it just a background?
It's real. Yeah, this is
just checking.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's real.
Woo!
Very nice.
How lovely. Oh, gosh. It's
And
lovely to see you, darling.
Thank you.
Actually, before we start, we were just talking about roots. Doing your
roots.
Yes. Not your family.
Do you do your own roots? That's all I want to know.
Well, at the moment, I just slipped in there before lockdown. Just. And so this is where we are at the moment. So
very good.
I've got that. I've got mousy hair, but there's a little bit of grey coming in now. But of course, blondes, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Yes, all right. Don't go on about it.
Anthea was saying that. It certainly is, darling. Well, darling, you and I go back a long way, don't we, darling?
We do. And obviously I'm your mom.
I know. When you did Blue Peter and Tracy Island.
That's it. And I think that was my first real meeting up with the Anderson family was when I did the Make Tracy Island on Blue Peter. And I know Blue Peter has always been famous for making things, but this was the biggest one they ever did and has really gone down in Blue Peter history. So Tracy Island, which I still have. It's actually in the loft here, upstairs in the loft, and it's secure up there, and I guard it with my life. And it's only been out a couple of times, and the last time I took it to the Antiques Roadshow.
Oh,
did a big extravaganza, and they were doing a lot of sort of memorabilia.
Yes.
And, of course, they said, you know, you can't put a price on it really because it's unique.
Wow, absolutely. And there are still collectors out there who've got the original, you know, that they've made when they were kids. Now, darling, I want to switch to last year, I think it was, when you did an amazing program and you were so wonderful with Aunt Middleton.
Yes.
And Aunt Middleton, he had a few sort of, I didn't like the way he called you Granny, because you look about 12 at the moment, darling.
If that.
Thank you. Do you know, I didn't take offense at it. I knew what they were doing. They were doing it to rile me. What they do is that they're looking for a weak point in everybody. And I know a lot of people, and thankfully, you know, it's very kind that people complained on my behalf.
Yes.
As he said, as he pushed me backwards out of that helicopter, he said, I've never pushed somebody so old out of it.
Oh,
and those were the final words as I hit the thing.
Oh.
But what they're doing is constantly, and of course, I mean, it's real and it's not real. This is a real crash course in what it's like to be in the army. And they're looking for a weak point. As they say, you can't put a loaded rifle in somebody's hands who's got a fuse like that. You've got to be able to take it. You've got to be able to keep goading. And they're watching and seeing where you break. And obviously, I'm far too old in the tooth to be breaking over like that. So it's like water off a duck's back. I think if you were maybe younger and you were a hothead, then because they poked at everybody about something.
Yeah. Oh God.
They're looking for that. They're really looking for that. But I knew that.
Of course. But did you enjoy it, darling? Did you enjoy the experience?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Really?
Well, it's because you know, there's that little macabre side of all of us. And I did Blue Peter and I did all those things. And I sort of quite like that, you know, standing on the edge. And even as a child, my mum really hates heights. And just to annoy her, I was obviously a vile little child. I used to stand on the edge of, if there was a cliff or anything, and just look at her. See her visibly, you know, falling apart. So I've always had, I quite like heights. But the other thing is, and this is probably in the bigger picture, which affects us all, that I do think, you know, the elixir of youth isn't in a pot of cream. It's in us. And as we get older, we become safer because we're constantly doing our own hazard assessment of what's going to happen if I do that and do that.
True. Yeah.
And maybe what we need, and when we're younger, we don't, you know, fools rush in, we go and do all sorts of things, and obviously get ourselves splattered in the face, as all of us have. But we pick up and dust ourselves down. And I do think that as we get older, we should try things. I know that was a little drastic. However, we should have a go and think, no, actually, don't let this number hold us back. Have a go.
It's true.
And it really does. It lights you up inside. It's adrenaline.
It does. Fantastic.
Have a go. And it doesn't matter. And we've all got our comfort zone, haven't we? And mine be a little more extreme. However, you know, you're watching all these people. I was watching Dancing on Ice last night. Anything, and I did that, and I just thought, and I fell over and I hurt myself, so many bruises. But I'm so glad I had to go because I learned how to do something. Not well, but I learned how to do it.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow.
Well, Anthea, I mean, everybody out there must know you have headed so many programs in your career. You haven't you? Not, I mean, with you and then another presenter. I mean, if you counted up the amount of shows that I can't imagine how many in your time. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Well, it's all gone into, well, do you know, I tell you what they were. They were some iconic shows that our generation, we all remember them. We remember we were here because it was so much part of our life. Obviously, Blue Peter was part of our life. Top of the Pops was part of our life. You know, it was the only place on a Thursday where we saw the artists. We listened to the radio.
Yeah.
But there was no MTV. There were no other forms of watching whoever your crush was. Mine was always David Cassidy, and so that and I do remember standing in the studio and hearing that music, and those records were spinning. You see it on the monitors, and just that gulp. I am standing here.
Yeah.
Hallowed ground at Television Centre presenting Top of the Pops. So I think they were probably and breakfast television and things like that. They were always sort of shows that we love. We have a love for them, don't we?
Yeah. But your writing really interests me. You've written a book of how to survive divorce. And we're all divorcees here. And I guess you only know by experience, don't you? You only know when you come out of it how you're going to carry on or what it's done to you. And then years later you go, oh, right, that's what it did. So now I can survive again this, the next time. Yes.
I think the reason I wrote the book was because I did that thing that we all do when you're right in the middle of something. I go into Waterstones and I went, oh, I love that one. I love Heart. I love that one. I love that one and that one. I came out with this pile of books. Did I read all of them? No, because they were like go through, and I haven't got time to do this. So I sort of did a pre-seed version of what you really need to know.
Yeah.
And it's not a one shoe fits all. It's very much from a woman's point of view, and actually an older woman getting divorced, because I think it's different. Because when you get divorced and you're in your late 40s, early 50s, so I was in my 50s, the optimism of youth isn't there. You have far more air miles behind you than you do.
That's true.
Yeah. You're feeling, and people go, oh, well, there's more pebbles on the beach, and there's more fish in the sea, and all those sort of things. Well, actually, we're older, and it's not. We don't have that little tail up and optimism in the same way. So we have to work harder to get that.
Yeah.
So, and I think there's fear. I said in the book, I was frightened to death of life in front of me.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I'd lost my hedges had gone up, and I've got this open field, and I don't really know what to do. I do feel quite strongly, and I talk a lot to my friends about this one there, because obviously I am that go-to person. That I say how you deal with it is when you're in the moment makes a huge difference afterwards. If you want to retain any sort of relationship with, friends, family, children, how to make it easy, and because it's not, and it's a horrible thing to go through. But two things. There's that, and then I'm digressing. One thing that's massively important and sounds really, really harsh. Don't get caught up in the minutiae. There comes a point when you have to deal with, it sounds horrible, the business of getting divorced.
Yeah.
Put your big girl pants on and do it. And
True.
Really think, because this is your opportunity to be able to be safe the other side. Mm-hmm.
So I wish I'd have known you when I was getting divorced.
No, I think we all do. But Anthea, you're How to Be the Perfect Housewife, right? All that time ago. I think you should now write the sequel to that. And maybe a funny version of it, because I'd love to hear what you'd say now.
Maybe that goes all of us. Maybe that's the program we should all be doing.
Yes.
How to be the Perfect Housewife was a silly title to get people to notice.
Yeah, of course.
And they certainly did. But somewhere buried within that, I love to be organized, and I don't like to be organized because I'm prissy or silly. I haven't got anything better to do. It's the way I function. I'm dyslexic, not heavily dyslexic, but dyslexic.
Me too.
Statemented. Thank you. And I need to organize what I can see, because I know there's a bit of a jumble going on up there. But if I can put things in order visually, then I'm able to deal with life a lot better. And even when I've been going through those terrible times, we've just mentioned, no divorces, there's no happy divorce. I had it all organized, and I kept tidy, and I kept all, and it, you know, pandemic, and it's what have I been doing? Organizing things, because it allows me to navigate things and see through if I can. And also, I think it releases you from your home. If it's organized and I know where my glasses are and I know where this is and I can pick up that, then A, you can release yourself from your home, and B, your home is the place you want to bring people into as well. And you can say, come over.
It's your safety net, isn't it?
Me.
Well, that's your next book.
Have anybody around because I've got to tidy up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's your next book, Anthea.
Yeah,
you need to get writing that book.
Right. Okay, then I will do.
Good.
It's wonderful to hear that sense. I'm also dyslexic, and yes, organization to make the room lovely for me to come down into in the morning is important to me. I like to have all that organization and balance and all of that. So I totally identify. What's so moving is that you've always had a voice, and now we have the ability with social media to have that voice with us holding the reins. So antheaturner.com, please tell me about that. I've looked at it, obviously, it's fantastic. But again, it gives you a voice. My weekly, all of that. Tell me all about that.
Yes, it does. And I think that's you know, it's very easy to berate technology. So everybody's always on the phone. But I love it. I absolutely love it. I love social media. We are all old enough to have it in perspective, where it sits in our life. But I have learned so much via social media, contact people. If you want anything, you've only got to go onto Instagram and you'll find it. I know what my friends are doing. I think there are some people, of course, you know, there's a whole rafter, which is probably out of our age group. It's very the sanitized social media, but ours isn't. And I've seen this wave, especially through COVID, where we've all started to be real on social media, connect. I think it's been of a great comfort to a lot of people and followers. And I've got a very, and I think you all do as well, we have a very interactive followers. They don't just like things, they say things and they speak back to them. And I think it's, you know, we're the baby boomers of the 60s, and I think it's given all of us a voice, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it, because there was a time when you presented a program and it wasn't about you, quite rightly, it's about who you're talking to. But you know, it's interesting to get into people's homes, like what we're doing now. You know, I'm looking at your back shelf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plants and and it tells stories about people. I love it.
And also things like, can I mention Soho?
Soho, who actually has just walked out,
done a runner.
He's done because he's been offered a walk.
He didn't want to sit with the He didn't want to sit with the girls. He wanted to go out with the
blokes. Seeing him on your
friend.
social media, though, it has such wit. It has those little things that, as you were saying, you know, you can talk about things that are important, and then there's the wonderful things in life, like Soho, the dog. But you also got something. You had something happening this afternoon, which was an online.
Yes, this afternoon, which is, well, it was my first social media Zoom funeral. A very dear friend of mine lost her battle with cancer, and it was her funeral today.
I'm so sorry.
And you know, and she was horrific for her. It really was. So the family arranged the funeral. Obviously, close members of the family were there in church, because you can only have so many, and then the rest of us went by Zoom. And I was just thinking, had this happened in March, April, we'd have gone, oh God, fancy having a funeral on Zoom. Terrible, terrible, terrible. How accepting are we now?
Yes.
This is actually
grateful.
A completely normal thing to do, like we're now. We've just been talking about social media. This is what has surprised, shocked, and enlightened me. It was the most perfectly normal thing to do. We all got on. The church and I think there's quite a few churches now are setting themselves up for this with cameras in the right place and a few lights and things. And I think we can only imagine now, this is the beginning and something else that's come out of our situation.
Yes.
Weddings, funerals, events will be, we can only have so many people in the marquee or in the church or wherever it is. And if anybody wants to join us via Zoom, please be our guest. This is the login.
And it's being together, isn't it? In joy and in
countries.
grief. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it makes me tingle. You see the huge benefit that this, because we're so used to this little thing that we're I have to show you this. We've all got our laptops. I can't use the pad. I hate the pad. So I have to have this little plug-in mouse. It's a little, look, it's got Diamantes on it. But I can't do the pad thing.
No, I'm saying, Anthea, you look absolutely incredible. You always have done, but I think you actually are looking better now. Is it because you are in love?
There's a bit of love going on there, which is why all of a sudden Mark in his house has got pink cushions and he hasn't.
Yes, of course.
So this is the new life after divorce.
Madam.
This is your new man after divorce. So it is possible for all of us. I'm looking.
Absolutely. Do you know, I have to say, I had 5 years, best part of 5 years. I dated a little bit, but I had 5 years really on my own. And up until that point in my life, it's a terrible admission, really. Apart from 6 months once, I have never been on my own. Boyfriend, either mum and dad, boyfriend, husband, boyfriend, husbands. I've never been on my own. And I found that really difficult, really, really difficult, but it's been the making of me to have learned to be me and to be by myself and to deal with things. And even though, all those little practical things, I bought a Bosch drill. I can put a shelf up.
Woo!
I can really sort stuff out that somebody else always used to do for me. And not that I've got, Jane Moore once said to me, she said, there's nothing worse than somebody who's got bitter and twisted tattooed across their forehead.
Yeah.
So I always think, dump it, put it down. We've done that, learn by it. There's a gentleman who owns a charity called the Reverend Stephen Chalk. He owns Oasis, and I do a lot for them. And he always talks about this book of life. We all have this book of life, and we're really good at bad moments of thumbing back into our book of life and sitting there on the pages that hurt us. Why do we do this? Don't. Never go.
That's a very good expression, Anthea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, we should always be editors of our book of life.
Yes.
Which is why, from editing our wardrobe, our look, our hair, our home, little tweaks here and there, always keep editing and keep moving along.
Angie, what you just said before, actually, what you just said before was amazing. You said about the beauty, about coming from within. The age thing comes from within you. The energy and everything else is what makes you young. It's nothing to do with the way your face looks, really. It's because you can see ladies who are really old, but they're really young, and people that are really young who are really old.
Energy.
So it is energy, and none of us, we're not tree huggers, but energy is really important.
Yeah.
And you can feel an energy in a room. You can meet a friend who is very low and very down, and it's palpable. You feel it.
Yes.
I always say to people, if you can walk into a church on your own and feel that calmness, then you understand energy, and you can understand a bad energy. Sometimes you walk into somebody's home and you think, oh, I love it. I'm so happy here. I don't know why. It has a good energy in it. And others could look like a showroom, but you just don't feel
it.
It's empty. Yeah.
I think as we get older and we've had more experiences, we learn to feel energy and change it as well. And
you've been honestly, Anthea, I'm so sorry, but we've kind of run out of time. You're so fantastic. Will you come back and chat to us again, because you're just so lovely? Can we come to your house next time?
Yes. Yes. Pink cushion.
You know what? Your advice is always so fantastic, Anthea. And every time I talk to you, you give me something to go away with. And I think she's absolutely right. And you've been so brilliant. I'd love you to come back.
Please come back.
I'd love
We love
to.
you.
I would love to. All right.
Thank you, darling.
darling.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
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 Well,
Right,
that was
so
a
have
Monday
energy.
injection of energy and happiness and
That is
positivity. Oh my
amazing.
goodness.
Happiness.
She is.
Yeah.
She's
It is
fantastic.
happiness. Yes.
Wonderful.
Really.
Well, that's today. Today we started off losing our memory, and now we've got our energy back. I think today's been a very good day. Oh, Wednesday we have a vegan delight because Bob Barrett is coming back to see Sherry. He's only coming to see Sherry.
Yes.
Right.
With
Quite
a secret.
Mm-hmm. He said, "Don't tell anybody. I'm coming to see Sherry." So,
So we all know now.
Yeah, and we have my gorgeous friend Amanda Barry
yes.
as well, and so we'll see her, and she's full, as always, of the most amazing gossip anybody could ever be in the world.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Brilliant.
I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be a great show. It was a fabulous show. I really feel full of energy actually talking to her. What an incredible girl.
Absolutely.
She's
Can I
lovely.
just check with everyone before we go? Do we all have our glasses, keys, and phones?
Probably not.
Cup,
Somewhere.
knickers.
No, I don't need to know about
Probably in yeah.
that. Oh,
How
well,
many
In
well,
my
pairs of glasses do
non-existent
you need?
bra.
Right, look, glasses.
bye, guys.
Bye, guys. See you Wednesday.
Where's my phone? Where's my computer? I don't know what I
Oh,
did.
keys, oh God, I've got to get out.
Oh,
Who are
I
you?
can't see through these
Who are
glasses
you?
anyway.